But the interesting thing about it is all things wouldn't have happened. Like I told my friend, I clearly told him I disagreed with his wife. You saw my statement in Punch. I thought she lied about the incident, and I felt it was right to put things in the right perspective. And one thing is for sure, when you can't support the facts, when the facts don't support what you have presented, it becomes very impossible for you to hold on to those facts. Why do I say this? Because of the relationship that Godswill Akpabio, my boss, the Senate president, had with Emmanuel Orisha-Jolomi Odua. His wife was made the chairman of the Senate Committee on Local Content 2 weeks after she came into the Senate on the 21st of November 2023. And so if she has alleged that on the 8th of December 2023, what's happened had happened, and he was telling her that there were a lot of privileges to enjoy. What privileges can be more than the fact that we have about 73 or 76 chairman of committees? And she had become a chairman of committee already prior to the 8th of December, which interestingly, they both have the same birthdays on the 9th of December. And so, the family is intertwined, so I don't want to go into those family issues.
And things are
but really I'm looking at the facts,
really
and that's why we should actually look for how we can mend fences at this point. At this point in time.
Let's get to the
short of the report of the Ethics Committee chaired by Senator Neda, and of other contributions that have been made, including the very, very insightful summary by the Senate leader. I thought, because you have encouraged yours, sir, regardless of what my dad said, that you have no friend, I think you have friends. It would be dangerous for you to lead yourself to the conclusion that you don't have friends. How can you preside over affairs of enemies or people you don't trust? That trust line between the leadership and the followership must be serviced. But it can be brought under test in moments like this. My advice is that the quality of a leader is tested when you are under severe provocation, how you manage it, which is why I appreciate the way you have even admitted to more complaints as if nothing had gone wrong. Sometimes in leadership we face those temptations. I thought I should share with my very good friend and sister, and also our in-law, my experience on the floor of this Senate. I went on China television, in my opinion, to defend the Senate. When we were being accused of spending money here and there, I said, no, I bought my own furniture, etc. A distinguished senator said I had breached his privileges. On that occasion, some people spoke in my favor. But there were few who insisted that what I said was in bad taste. I asked myself, there are them. Who will cast the first stone that he has never lied? Sorry, he has never erred, if I have actually erred. But on this occasion, my intention was to defend the institution. And yet, some members felt offended. I have been a governor for 8 years. I was re-elected. I didn't do a receipt. I chairman the governing party for 2 years. I was removed. I didn't go to court. So once I noticed that there were some senators who felt that my comment was embarrassing to them, for me, it is a mark of strength to admit that not being my intention, that I apologize to those who felt offended by my comment, even as my intention was very noble and clear as far as I was concerned. I think that to apologize is not to belittle yourself. And even the Holy Bible says, and this is where I want to appeal to those who have taken very strong stand, that any sin we commit, once we admit to the fact of our failing, of committing, of breaching any of the 10 commandments of God, that if we apologize to God and confess that we will not do so again, we can still see the kingdom of God. I think it is based on this logic that the committee created a window. And I also know that on a previous occasion, that sort of window, even though not stated, was exploited for a former chief whip. So I don't want to go into the merits because there is nothing new to be said. I just want to appeal to distinguished Senator Mrs. Udwanga that everyone that has spoken cannot possibly be coward or foolish. Truth of the matter is, the rules are binding. They are enforceable. They are potent. I wasn't in the Senate that day. I was in Benin When I saw the fireworks on television, I thought it was something else, but I don't know because initially I didn't know what the issues were. When I was told it's about change of seat, sir, my seat has been changed. The only thing that the committee couldn't do is to change my person and my values. I thank God, as President Tinubu has said repeatedly, no matter how short a man is, he can see the sky. So my seat was changed, but my views have not changed about anything that I want to speak on. I think that is the beauty of democracy. This is meant to appeal to Senator Natasha, who you had caused as revealed by the leader of the House, that you even address her as princess of the Senate. I think she can still remain the princess that she has been, provided she doesn't work herself into the conclusion that it's a mark of weakness to admit when maybe out of whatever feeling you have erred. And it bears repeating that the offense is not against the presiding officer. It's breach of the rules under which affairs of this Senate are conducted. I'm not going to go to whether somebody has been favored or not favored. In life, what you do think is a favor, somebody else will see it as a favor. So I want to appeal to you, Mr. President. It's not an easy thing to sit there and issues of change of seat. That's what I want to comment on. Issues of change of seat degenerated to the kind of fireworks that we saw on television. And of course, for those who talk about social media, why are they social media? That is the way it works. So I conclude, sir. I thank you for allowing me to speak, and I apologize to the Senate leader that I'm speaking after he had spoken. But this is the time you had acknowledged me to speak. I think that the committee, if you follow the sequence, issues of discrimination cannot be proven. It is actually the opposite. That under your leadership, distinguished Senator Mrs. Uduaga can claim victimization based on facts. And I urge her to reflect deeply about tomorrow, because she can do nothing about yesterday, but she can mend by recognizing that to apologize for what you have found to be wrong is not a mark of weakness. And to our colleagues, I think rebuilding our collective image is necessary. I had occasion to say that once you have been stripped naked in the market, how much more can you cover, since everybody has seen it? But then I also then asked myself subsequently, because you were stripped naked in the market, should you continue to walk naked all over the country? The moment you realize you have been naked, we are told that when a madman realizes that she's naked, if you begin to wear clothes, then you know it's regaining sanity. It is not a mark of weakness. So I don't want to be on the side of peace. And I don't want all of us to be hawks. In this case, we need some those to, tamper the general feeling in the Senate. I don't think there's any division. No one has questioned the facts as they are, and facts are stubborn. You can wrestle with the fact, you can wrestle with the truth, but you can't defeat the truth. And on that note, I want to thank you, sir, for this opportunity. And I believe my sister has heard all those who have spoken. And I'm sure she knows she has a lot of friends among those who have spoken. And they cannot all be wrong. Thank you, Mr. President, for your patience, and thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
Fact of the matter. There are senators who are saying the crux of the matter was the removal of Senator Akpoti Uduaghan as the chair of the Senate Committee on Local Content.
That's why I said
Is that right?
That was what I said the punch. I didn't put water in my mouth, so I said it. And Lina Ikeji, I didn't tell Lina Ikeji to blow it up, but she blew it up. I was very emphatic about this. Why do I say this? Mm-hmm. Let me put a question straight. If Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan was still the chairman of Local Content, would she have made this allegation? Even if her seat was changed? Does
it take away the fact that she has a genuine grievance of sexual abuse or sexual harassment, allegations of sexual harassment?
Why I don't believe that happened was the fact that I have a trajectory, and I just gave you the fact that she was already committee chairman.
You don't believe, but you do not know whether it happened.
I wasn't there.
Because it's a word
that
of
is
the
why I said
against the Senate president.
I don't believe. But if you look at it, it's on Weboyi's account, who was an eyewitness. He was in your studio for the Sunrise Daily program. You're already a lawyer. You know there's something called an eyewitness report. Mm-hmm. He gave his eyewitness account and said not only did he come in the same car with both Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan and Chief Emmanuel Uduaghan, he also left in the same car with them. And that report it's what you call in law. I mean, that report is beyond reasonable doubt. Because he was able to account for all the time that they were together. And I also believe that some evidence is beyond that. But you see, the window of opportunity that the SP gave today, if you look at you on your reports, when you saw he put the prayer 2, a lot of people are unhappy with him. The prayer 2 did not succeed in a lot of people's interpretation. That's giving her the window of opportunity to be able to apologize. But the SP, maybe his magnanimity, said the eyes have it. So and that gives her the window of opportunity to be able to apologize. And you see, I don't even like I don't even like what the senior advocate of Nigeria was doing here.
She's a aggrieved party here.
What was the grievance? That her seat was moved? But she's sitting on that chair now.
No, but the big question here is that it's because of sexual harassment.
The fact of the matter was her seat was moved. And there was already bottled up anger because she was removed from the local content committee. We have to be realistic. Now, if she didn't go to Brekete and she didn't go to Arise, all this could have been sorted out. She would have, the same way Senator Godswill Akpabio apologized when he sits, you couldn't hear his microphone, and you showed the video. That's all she needed to do. Apologize for the unruly conduct for that day.
It doesn't look,
and it would have been sorted out. But by the time she went to Brekete and she went to Arise, let's be realistic. I like to face
doesn't it look to you that
I'm happy you know that the husband is my good friend.
Doesn't it look to you, Ken, that she's got a lot of bottled up emotion?
That's exactly what happened.
Just a moment about emotional harassment allegation that she's claimed.
No, that's not right. The bottled up emotion comes from the fact that she was removed from that committee to diaspora and she wasn't happy about.
Could that be true?
That's the fact.
That is the insinuation from your side.
That's not from my side. That's the fact.
No, I'm saying from the side.
Who was the chief, who is the deputy chief whip and a leader of the house, clearly said the same thing I told Punch. You know why I said that to Punch? I wanted to hold on to one line. I didn't want a situation whereby, my boss will definitely not come and tell you this. Do you understand where I'm coming from? But you see, I have been tested in this whole drama. I am his image maker, I'm his consultant on communication and strategy. The husband recommended me for this position, and at the same time, the test is coming from that side. I always have my integrity. When I served Dr. Emenalewete Odua as commissioner, I was faithful even till today. Interestingly, when it was his 70th birthday, I was the only commissioner that gave him a full page. So just last year.
Were you torn between loyalty and
friendship?
That's what you're torn?
Yes. And I had to start for loyalty.
So what did you tell the Alema of Warri?
I told Alema of Warri that we could settle this issue. And I still insist that we could settle this issue. Because you know why I think we can settle this issue?
So the
fact that the second prayer passed is the only window of opportunity I can tell that this issue can be settled. There shouldn't be any pride. The SN came here and there is no injunction. What's happened is that there is a court, there's a process, there's a court order. But the court order says that the Senate should come and show reason why an injunction should not be granted. They didn't say they had restrained. You see, the judge was very careful. And when the legislative process has started, you can't stop it now. It's a settled authority. It's only when it has not started, you can put a stop to it.
How do you explain this? There are those who are out there who are saying, this is not the first time that Godswill Akpabio, we're having this kind of allegation against him. You heard from the former MD of the NDDC.
I have spoken to him about it. I wasn't working with him then. And he has his very deep regrets. His deep regrets was that he didn't pursue that matter to a logical conclusion. And he intends to pursue it now to a logical conclusion. You see, one of the mistakes that Trump made was that he didn't deal with the issue of Stormy Daniels. And that's why he's a convict today, even though he's the president of America. And so his deep regret was that he didn't deal with that issue, and that issue will be dealt with. You see, when you decide to say, let's forgive and forget, and you move on, then things like this will come back to haunt you. Are you understanding? And so he wants to deal with that issue once and for all.
It's a case of Akpa versus Akpo. Akpabio versus Akpoti.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I disagree with that.
No. As in, there is a popular joke on social media. And
you know what has happened? You see, a lot of people are driving traffic because they're making money from it. YouTube is paying them, Twitter is paying them, Instagram is paying them, and so they're finding solace in it. But you see, away from the social media, we need to face reality. The reality of it all is, all Senator Natasha Akpotiuduaghan needs to do is to apologize. A written apology. She's been giving that window. Anybody that is deceiving her to the contrary is just ruining her political career.
If you take this away from this particular instance and draw an inference to what has happened before, the kind of the manner in which the Senate President has spoken to this woman on the floor before, don't you think there is a historical way of disrespect to the senator?
If you remember, I was on a rise after that incident. I was the only one that spoke about it, and very honest about that incident. When he said it was a nightclub, he meant it was not a place to make noise. He didn't mean to disrespect her, in all honesty. But people found
what he meant and what he said are two
different things.
So did you hear what he said?
Okay, did you hear what Senator Oshomole said today? He said he was on your program, and even though he was convinced, but that his conviction was not enough, He had to apologize because people found it offensive. And that's exactly the same scenario that Senator Godswill Akpabio was caught with. What he meant was, like he rightly said, was not what it was interpreted. And he was a statesman. Wow. And I was one of those that advised him that, look, this is your friend's wife, and it would only make sense for you to apologize on the floor of the Senate so that people would not misconstrue that you're referring to your friend's wife as a club girl. And that's exactly what he was not doing. He was rather saying that the nightclub was a place you shouldn't make noise. If he had said the marketplace, he would have said he was calling her a market woman. You see, let me tell you, one thing about my boss I've realized is that he has that tendency of joking. In fact, one day, off the cuff, I was telling him that maybe boss should have made a lot of money being a comedian. He said, "Ken, maybe you're right. Don't get me wrong. Do you get?" And people take that for granted and do not understand that when he makes such statements, not about the nightclub, but generally, maybe he just wants to tour the moment. He just wants to put life into what is happening. And it's something that comes to him, but he doesn't intend to do it. And even I can tell you for free that Chief Emmanuel, although I didn't think that Senator Akpabio was referring to his wife as a club girl, I'm 100% sure of that.
That kind of situation,
yes.
When Senator Uwabonyi and you now are saying that the real reason behind all of this rift is the removal of Senator.
Why Senator already in punch?
No, just a moment. Yeah. Just that the real reason behind all of this is Senator Akpoti Uduaghan's removal as the chair of the Senate Committee on Local Content. What is this about this local content?
I wouldn't know, but she felt maybe, I don't know, the Senate president has every reason to move people from committees to committees, just like the way the president of the country can decide to drop a minister and appoint a new minister if he's not satisfied. She wasn't the only one that was removed, but maybe she felt that...
Why was she removed?
I don't know why she was removed, but the Senate president felt a need...
Is it true that...
The Senate president felt a need to rejig the committees, and she didn't feel good about it. But you see, what I think is this is not the right way to go about it. She could have nipped it in the bud, if she had an audience with the Senate president, or she have allowed her husband have audience with the Senate president, since he had an unfettered access to the Senate president. And that's why I'm not happy with the way the turn of events have come. Because the Brekete interview, the Arise interview, just compounded issues. Have you noticed that not even one senator spoke in her favor? That should worry you now.
Let me ask you.
That is Oshomole, the schools Natasha. And you listen to this other man. Anyways, in all of this, that is to say, Natasha will go and apologize. Yes, that's what she'll do. She'll go and apologize. In all of this woman, she's a PDP senator. Yes, she's a PDP senator, isn't it? In all of this, where are the PDP members? Where I've not seen any PDP senators who come out to speak regarding these issues, as other senators has been speaking. I'm not saying that. Yes, I'm not seeing any. Maybe I don't know. I'm not seeing any PDP lawmaker who come to speak about this. And she's a PDP member. Have you not noticed that none of these senators have spoken in favor of Natasha? I mean, none of these, whether serving senators, retired senators, not even senators, some lawyers, barristers, son, none of them have spoken in favor of Natasha. Does it mean that they hate Natasha? They don't like her? They don't want her to represent Kogi State? Or what? None of them is speaking in her favor, like you have been expecting that at least some women or senators to speak in favor of Natasha. It's not as if they hate Natasha or they don't. Everybody give kudos to her. She fought her way through. Do you understand? But you must also understand in every institutions. And now you see what that man is saying, where this problem started from. I don't know, like I said. I'm not no Akpabio. We're judging this issue based on what happened in the Senate House. In the Senate House. That's what we are judging. So none of them, and including Tinubu's wife, the First Lady. I think he also defended a Senate President, Akpabio, and what she said, that everybody, I think how she put that statement, that people should dress very well not to be cheap. People should dress very well not to be cheap for any man to harass. Yeah, I think that's the right way she said it. That all the female senators should dress very well. Should dress very well not to be cheap for senator or for any man to harass. That's what she said. She defended Senate President. Anyways, that's not the problem. at least the judgment has been passed, and the judgment has been passed, the suspension has been given 6 months. And the thing is, that 6 months might be extended. I say the 6 months because the way the Senate listen, the way they are arranged, so it might be more than 6 months, not just the way we calculate our normal Canada date. That's the problem. And again, you see what this man is saying, and nobody has ever talked about this. Nobody has ever said. A lot of people do not even know. Anyway, I'm not here to say that's the problem, that's the reason, but that's what he's saying now. That's where the problem started from, because the woman was not happy about that. The woman was not happy about that. That is his own opinion. That is his own this thing. Anyways, a lot of people have rights to say he's working for his master. He's speaking on behalf of his master. You're not expecting him to blame his master, though. And again, he said he's still a friend to the man husband. So, anyways, at least let them focus. We have bigger issues. My concern here, we have bigger issues ahead. This one is even a symptom of bigger issues ahead of us that are going to come later. Yes, this is bigger issues ahead of us. Because if we are here discussing about sexual harassment from the third man in the country, senator versus Senate president, SP, so it doesn't make any sense to me. In a normal society, this shouldn't be. No. But it's unfortunate that it's happening in our society today. We are discussing about this when we have bigger issues. We have a lot of things to talk about. And the key is like it's distracting a lot of things. Thank God they put to an end, so that other things can discuss other issues. Anyways, please share this video.